The Eagles Rookie Minicamp is 2 days away, and the Birds are already tweaking the roster and getting the new rookies acclimated to life in Philadelphia. But despite some haters in the media, hear why both Mel Kiper and Adam Schefter think the Birds dominated last weekend's draft. And A.J. Brown raved about his new teammate Saquon Barkley during his press conference following the new contract that's going to keep him in Philadelphia for the rest of his career. I'm Thomas Mott. This is the Thomas Mott Show. So the Eagles' new rookies are going to report to minicamp on Friday, and while all of these new picks were in the building the past couple of days, signing contracts, just getting ready for camp life, the Eagles made a couple of roster moves yesterday by waiving Noah Ellis, Griffin Herbert, Tywan Mullen, and Lecter Smith per the transaction wire. And while it's no real surprise here, Philadelphia did need to make room for all the new draft picks, as well as newly signed offensive lineman Mekhi Becton, who, according to Jeff Mosher yesterday at Inside the Birds, said the Eagles are going to try Becton at guard. He stands at 6'7", 364 pounds, will be one of the biggest guards to play the position. This is quite the surprise. I mean, Becton played 16 games at tackle last year for the Jets. He was drafted to be an offensive tackle, and despite struggling, he's built to play tackle, not guard. I think it's safe to say he's probably going to cross-train. I think swing tackle is probably more where he actually is going to end up. But if you're not really sold on the Eagles' guard situation yet and you want just a little bit of assurance there, cross-training him at guard does, I guess, make a little bit of sense in terms of the Eagles' offensive line depth chart. Now, as you can see, I am back home right now, and I've said this many times, you're probably tired of it, but my wedding is 2 days away. And I gotta mention, we're so close to 50,000 subs. I think we're 50 subs away from 50K. And I said if we get to 50K by Friday, by my wedding day, I'm giving away one of the Eagles rookie jerseys, one of the Fanatics Nike NFL jerseys, whether you want Quinyon Mitchell or Cooper DeJean, your choice. I think we're going to hit it. We just got to get a couple more subs, and then I'm going to randomly pick one of you guys who are subscribed and send you guys a brand new Eagles jersey. Now, winning the draft is something that has gotten a lot of buzz the past few days as national media pundits try to debate about who won, who lost, this pick is good, that pick is good. But I think the godfather of the draft, Mel Kiper, had some pretty good responses to the critics saying the Eagles did not have a good draft. He gave them an A+, saying, quote, I mean, what's not to like? They got my guy Cooper DeJean in the second round after getting Quinyon Mitchell. So you look at the draft field for the Philadelphia Eagles and say, where did they go wrong? What did they do that's something that you hadn't really loved? He also later added that I think the start of the draft, when you look at what they were able to do, a guy fell in their lap. There's no way they could have sat there at 22 and said Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Nate Wiggins, and all these guys are going to be there. They thought they were going to have to trade up. They didn't. So they get Mitchell, they made a deal to get Cooper, which was great. And as always, debating whether a team won or lost the draft 3 days after the draft is always just kind of for fun. It doesn't really mean anything. It takes years to figure out if Jalen Reagor is going to be good or not, or if J.J. Arcega-Whiteside is going to be a bust, or if Jordan Mailata is going to become the best left tackle in the National Football League despite never playing football until a couple of years ago. It's going to take time, but when you look at the overall national media pundits, they're all agreeing that the Eagles, at least on paper right now, had a world-class draft last weekend. For instance, how about Adam Schefter this morning on 97.5 The Fanatic, raving about the Eagles, mentioning that even people around the league were shocked that Philadelphia was able to get the haul, especially the first two picks that they were able to do this past weekend.
You know, I think the Eagles owner, Jeffrey Lurie, in the first round was like, we're not trading up. We're not moving up. Like, we always move up. No, we're not moving up. Mr. Lurie, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, if I had said to you last week before the draft kicked off that the Eagles would come out of this draft with Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, and 3 added picks for next year, I mean, what would be your reaction?
I would have said no way.
No chance. No. By the way, ESPN did a probability chart that Quinyon Mitchell would be available to the Eagles, and it was like 6%. And then the fact that Cooper DeJean would make his way to Philly in the second round, I know they traded up, I got it. But they consider the odds for that to be 3%. So to have a 6% shot and a 3% shot come in, that was incredible.
Now, speaking of those first two draft picks, how about Quinyon Mitchell, who was spotted working out, getting ready for rookie minicamp, just doing some drills here and a couple of pictures. Very excited to see how he does, not only against other rookies, but really when he actually gets into, real training camp against A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. And, of course, no shocker, the Eagles social media team put up this fun interview between DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell, asking them a bunch of questions, and they both had similar answers on who they're most excited to line up against when training camp starts.
First two right off the bat, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith.
It'll be fun to compete with those guys.
Now, no real shock there. I mean, the way you earn your master's degree in playing defensive back is to go up against the best of the best, and every single day, going against A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, that's some pretty good iron sharpening iron. They're going to get baptized by fire really quickly and hopefully be better for it sooner rather than later. Oh, and as for A.J. Brown, he had his media press conference yesterday following the signing of his new massive $34 million a year contract, and he reiterated that his goal, despite all the media pundits hating what he said here, is to actually retire a Philadelphia Eagle.
That's the goal. That's the goal. I think my career took off when I got here. Went to another level, and it feels right. My family's here. My girl's starting school again here. Kids here, I got teammates, and their kids. I want to grow up together.
Although I think a better soundbite, though, was A.J. Brown being asked about new teammate Saquon Barkley and giving a real inside look at just how impressive Saquon has been for all the Eagles since he got in the building a couple of weeks ago.
He's an incredible running back. I watched him over the years. I'm glad he's on my team. One thing I can say, just watching him today, just being back with the team like Monday and today, he's working really hard. That's all I want to see. That's all I want to see, because everything else is going to come together. And what I saw today, him pushing teammates in the weight room and he doing what he does, like that get me excited, because honestly, if I can get a guy like that who gonna come to work every single day and work hard, that's all that matters.
Can you see him being a leader already?
For sure. A guy with talent like that, and personality, I think so. Yeah, that's a guy you want to follow. He's done it at a high level for a while, and why not? Now,
I don't know about you guys, but the hype around the draft has kind of turned my attention away from the Saquon Barkley signing just a little bit. I mean, we all know how good he's going to be, but the fact that he's in this building right now, impressing everybody. Jalen Hurts raved about him, A.J. Brown raved about him, everybody's been raving about this running back. I just can't imagine what this offense is going to look like, and I can't wait to see it in a couple of months. Oh, and by the way, AJ was asked during his press conference, oh, how about those ridiculous trade rumors that was basically made up by the media saying you wanted out of Philadelphia? And his response was really cool, really calm, and very collected.
That's something I can't control. I can't control when somebody talks about me or come up with these things. That's not in my control, So there's nothing for me to do, Like I said, that's something that I learned from, and, moving forward.
Now, the Birds did officially lose Boston Scott yesterday, even though we kind of knew this was coming, but the Giant Killer did sign a one-year deal with the Los Angeles Rams, which officially closed the door of any possible return to the Eagles during training camp or whatever some people said on Twitter. Scott did release a heartfelt thank you via his social media channels, where he talked about how grateful he was just to the Eagles organization for giving him a chance. I mean, he was an undersized, undrafted free agent running back who should not have been in this league, and yet he was able to earn roster spots, earn contracts, and really help out a weaponless Carson Wentz-led team during the 2018, 2019, and even the 2020 season. Now, with my wedding a couple of days from now, this is probably my last show, at least until probably Sunday or Monday. We have a little bit of downtime back in Atlanta before we go on the honeymoon, and so got a couple of shows up there as well. But I appreciate all of your guys' well wishes. Got a lot of comments about the wedding. I really appreciate that. We're almost to 50,000 subs. Once we get there, I'll probably do the next video where I announce who actually wins it, and then I'll get that thing shipped out as well. And so make sure you hit that red subscribe button. We have plenty more stuff happening, hopefully, over the next couple of days and weeks. I'm Thomas Mott. This has been The Thomas Mott Show.